Hi everyone, my name is Jenna and welcome to my channel Divine Direction. In this video, we are going to be looking at the messages for the sign of Scorpio. So Scorpio, I have to be very honest. This morning when I woke up, I felt really sad and I just kind of felt like, maybe defeated. I'm not really sure. It's just like this feeling that what I want isn't gonna happen. And I'm like, okay, I've had this feeling before many times in my life, but I've been pretty good lately. But I just kept going on with my day, and then I decided to sit down and do your reading, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is why. Okay, so some of you may be feeling that a dream of yours is out of reach, and I've been talking about this a lot with all of the zodiac signs, or at least the majority of them, especially this week. My guides are really stressing us moving towards our goals and our dreams and making things happen for ourselves. But when we have this feeling, Scorpio, that it's not going to happen, that can be really difficult, okay? And as I said, I felt this before. Sometimes I still feel this and I just have to work my way through it. And it's not the easiest at times, but it gets easier. I have a tickle in my throat. So I have a feeling that this is about communication. So I'll get to that. So hopefully my throat will clear up now. First of all, so for every reading that I've been doing this week, I've been pulling an animal spirit card. And I felt guided to pull two for you. And I got the phoenix and the unicorn. And I'm like, okay, yeah. So mythical creatures, right? To me, this is like, I don't believe that this can happen for me. And it doesn't matter what it is. It just feels that it's either like so big that it's going to be hard for you to attain, or there's just been maybe signs in your life that it hasn't been coming, so it just feels like it's not going to happen. You do have the marriage card, so for some of you this is finding a partner. When we are dating and things just don't work out for us, it can be easy for us to be like, well, all of my relationships thus far have never worked out, so why, I don't really see myself being able to get married and meet the right person. It's hard. It is hard when you keep having those experiences when they don't work out, right? When these experiences don't work out, we need to start viewing that as being a positive thing, and I know that can be difficult. But what's made it easier for me is I've tried to think of this man that I'm going to marry. And to me, he's my focus, not my sole focus in my life, but he is my focus in my love life, right? Haven't met him before, but he's there. He's there. And I have this idea of who he is, what he likes, his hobbies. And my guides are like, she's just glowing, isn't she? And I have this idea of how he makes me feel, okay? So I felt guided last summer to go on online dating again and try to meet this man. And I ended up dating two people between then and now, and they didn't work out. And to me, that's perfectly okay because they weren't him, okay? So this is what my guides are kind of saying. Like, if we're dating and we're looking for the person of our dreams, if we have someone in mind, and know what we're looking for, if it doesn't work out with another person, that's totally okay. And I've just had the feeling that if I was dating more, I just want to be like, hey, people, like, I'm 35. We're 35. We're in our 30s, whoever I'm dating, or early 40s. And we're both looking for our life partner. So why can't we just accept that if it doesn't work out, that's okay? Because the next person might be the right person, right? My mood shifted when I started thinking about my dream partner. My mood shifted when I started looking at my dating experience in a different way. And I've been saying this in a lot of my videos, especially this week. If you look at your past relationships and use them to help you decide what it is that you truly desire in a relationship. So one of my relationships recently, the individual, he would listen to what I was talking about in regards to my feelings. And I didn't really think that a guy would do that, and I don't mean anything bad by that, but just the men that I have experienced before really didn't know how to handle that emotional aspect. And he was able to communicate and listen and help me through it in a way, or at least talk with me about it. And that was a new experience for me, okay? And my guides want me to say, you know, Jana, maybe some of the other guys were able to do that, but we just didn't think that they were capable of it because of previous experience, okay? So sometimes in our mind, we don't think that people are a certain way because we are thinking they are another way, okay, if that makes sense. But anyways, so having that experience showed me, hey, there is someone out there who is willing to communicate to me about my feelings, okay? About his feelings, no, he would not communicate to me about his feelings, and that drove me nuts. I didn't feel like it was an equal give and take, and I wanted it to be, okay? But what have I learned from that experience? That I want someone who will communicate with me about their life and their feelings as well, right? So learning from these past relationships, these past experiences. Now, I do feel that a lot of your reading, Scorpio, is talking about visualization, especially when my guides had me talk about this man that I am thinking of. Do I have a look in mind? I never really did, because my guides like to say, like, you never know what kind of package the person that you are meant to be with or whatever ends up showing up in. And sometimes people will manifest people, they ask for dark hair and tall and handsome or whatever, right? And they get that, okay? I don't like to fully put, you know, those physical, like the tension on the physical, and my guides don't really like that either. My guides are like, you know, let's focus on the feeling that this person brings us. Focus on the hobbies that maybe we'll do together, or what would our home life look like? How do we want to structure our relationship? In terms of, like, for me, the relationship that I'm working towards, my guides are like, ooh, working towards, there we go. We are partners, so I want someone that I can sit down at a table with and talk about and plan out paying our bills and plan out our budget, plan out our month. Like, I'm a planner, so I want someone who is willing to do that with me, right? So that's how I view part of our relationship. I view our Sundays, they're like, there she goes again. I view our Sundays as us sleeping in a little bit, maybe not so much if we have kids, when we have kids, but just taking that Sunday off for family time, okay? So that's how I view the relationship, and that's what they're saying. Focus on that. It doesn't have to be solely visualization. I've heard people call it like feelingization or something. Focusing on the feeling. Okay. When it comes to anything else that you want to manifest, it doesn't have to be love. Okay. There is a lot about love because you have the Ten of Cups, so there's the happy family. You also have the Ten of Pentacles. Beautiful. But this could be, they're showing me the Castle. So again, my big dream that I'm working on is being able to buy a house. But if you look at my current circumstances, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen, right? And that was kind of the feeling that I had this morning, that sad feeling, okay? But my guides are saying, what if we did the same thing, Jenna, that we did before with your partner that you haven't met yet? So if I'm dreaming of a house, what do I want it to look like? Now, I have a very specific house in mind, but you might not. So what my guides are saying is think about what kind of house you want in this case, right? Think about how it looks. Think about how it feels. I want something that's welcoming, cozy, comfortable. I want it to look lived in, but also look magazine quality. The way that and then I guess they're like, there she goes again, look at that smile. She's got this, she's got this. I want this small house, white with black shutters, and I wanted a solid wood antique door that's stained kind of a walnut color. And I definitely want a covered porch. And I want my house to be decorated in more of a Victorian style, but not full out Victorian, kind of like a more modern Victorian, okay? I have this in my mind and my guides are like, this is perfect, Jenna. We're looking at and visualizing what it is that we desire, okay, Scorpio? So I'm not going to fully get into this because I could spend hours talking to you about this house that I want, okay? But what they're saying is, okay, what kind of style do you want? How would you decorate it? What kind of feeling? When you come home, do you feel at peace, you know? Think about those things. What kind of landscaping are you going to have? Like, think about that. Break it down and visualize it. If you have difficulty visualizing, like I've always thought that I had. I'm like, oh, I have such difficulty visualizing. How am I supposed to ever going to make this happen? And my guides are just kind of like, Jenna, the difficulty that you had with visualization is you didn't fully sit down and think about all the specifics. And you don't have to think about every specific thing. Some of the bedrooms or rooms in the house I don't have decorated in my mind yet. But I have key pieces and key elements that I see. I see that wooden Victorian mantle, fireplace mantle with the mirror on top. And I see us sitting around that. I see the Christmas tree beside it, you know? Like, those are key pieces. Do I know what the couch looks like? Absolutely not. I don't need to. But I'm focusing on that and the feelings that I'm feeling by standing in front of that fireplace or sitting in front of it, okay? So if you're having difficulty visualizing, Scorpio, maybe you need to be more specific about what you're looking for, okay? And if you can visualize on one thing or focus on one feeling and try to tap into that, that can be really powerful for you, okay? What I've found is, and first of all, I've had difficulty visualizing and focusing on this. My angels and guides have helped me, so you can ask your angels and guides to help you visualize whatever goal it is that you're working towards. But I find that when you start to be able to think of yourself in that situation, in that relationship, in that home, in that job, and you can visualize it or have a little bit more specifics about it, that's what makes it so much easier to work towards, okay? It's not all about just manifesting it with that visualization. It's about having that in mind. So when I am feeling low, like I was made to feel this morning, I think about that house, and I think about how badly I want that house, and I think about that man and how badly I want to be in that relationship. And not in a way of lack, but just like immersing myself in that, like, okay, there, you know, okay, there's that fireplace again. It brings those positive feelings, which can help shift our mood and help us stay focused on taking the steps to move towards our goals, okay? Okay, so my guides are kind of saying, like, think about when somebody's having a baby, then they know that they're having a baby, so they might start to plan the nursery. What's the nursery going to look like? What's the baby's name going to be, right? You know, how do you want to raise your baby? There's all these things that we plan for and think about before having that baby. It's the same thing with any goal, right? So if you want to be in a certain career, and you need to go to school for it, you know, thinking about all the things that you would need to go to school. So, like my guides are showing me school supplies, you know, that's something that gets me excited. I don't know why. Is anyone else like this? That was one of my favorite times was in August when we would go back to school shopping and get a new outfit, and I get new books and pencils and all of that stuff. That got me excited. And they're like, good, that's getting you excited and getting you in that kind of mind space and preparation to move towards that goal. So what are the things that you require, and what's going to help you feel excited about this, more excited about this? Okay, so they're showing me like when I would go to school, I'd plan out every freaking detail, but that's me. I love planning, okay? So I would plan out my dorm room and what I wanted to look like, and I would plan out depending on the cooking situation, like is there going to be a kitchen available, or are we only going to have like a toaster or microwave kind of thing? What am I going to eat? How am I going to prepare meals? Sometimes I would make meals ahead of time. My mom most likely did when I was younger, and then put them in the freezer, so I had those. I would plan out what kind of outfits I would want and what kind of school supplies I wanted, and I would plan out how I was going to write my notes. Like, I would plan all of that, and I would get so excited. For some of you, maybe planning isn't that exciting, but like they're saying, you know, think of all of those things and let's work towards this goal, Scorpio. Okay, same thing with dating someone, creating space. So some people, what they'll do is to bring in a person, they'll create space for them. So maybe they'll clear some room in their closet. Some people will go through, I know one of my friends, she decided to go through all the stuff in her house, and she got rid of a bunch of stuff and cleaned it up. And it's like she was preparing herself for the next relationship, but she wasn't really interested in the relationship at the same time. It's like she wanted it, but she didn't. And she cleared it out, and not too long later, she stumbled upon this man and they got married. So, yeah, that preparation, okay? That preparation. It doesn't have to be a big preparation. Like I've heard people buying wedding dresses before they've even met their spouse. They're saying like, don't go crazy with this, but if it makes you feel good, by all means, Scorpio. But really thinking about the life that you would be living if you had this goal, how you want it to feel. Okay. Okay. So what they're really stressing here is focusing on the good aspects and not focusing on the lack or any negative thoughts. So they might come up in our head, Scorpio, but we have to say nope, nope. This is going to happen. This is happening. I just love this. I've never had this card come up. The Ace of Cups. So I love how she's focusing on the cup, and right beside her is like a bubbling cauldron, but to me it's like a rotten, bubbling, stinky mess. I don't know. That's just the vibes that they're giving me right now. She's not paying attention to that. She's just focusing on whatever is in that cup, and she has her eyes closed, and like there's this little bit of light around her head. Like she's just like taking a breath, visualizing, and just immersing herself in those positive feelings. And that's what they're really trying to stress here, Scorpio. So take some time to think about what it is that you truly want. If you don't have some of the specifics lined out, that's okay. But if you are having difficulty being able to see it, visualize it, if you can't see it, not necessarily in a visualizing way, but if you can't see it happening, then yeah, you're going to have those feelings of, it's not going to happen. Disbelief, right? But if you can see it happening, that makes it more real. That makes it more believable, more obtainable, okay? So write out what it is that you want from that goal. How do you want to feel in that career? What kind of schedule do you want? Do you want to work with a lot of people? Do you want to work by yourself at home? How do you want to feel at the end of the day? How do you want to feel when you go into work or when you begin work? Okay? These are really important things to note. Okay? Now, my guides are like, let's get back to that portion, Jenna, about the speaking, the communicate, okay? So, when we decide what it is that we truly desire and that we are ready to move towards it, that's when we communicate with the universe. And in some cases, when you're trying to manifest something, you don't even need to communicate it. It happens. When it comes to something that we feel is bigger than ourselves or harder to obtain, okay, it can be really beneficial for us to ask our angels and guides, to ask God, to ask the universe, to ask whomever. You can ask your deceased grandmother. Sometimes I ask my deceased grandfather, I'm like, Grandpa, help me. Okay, this is what I want. Be specific. Can you please help me, help guide me towards this? What is the next step I need to take, okay? And you will receive those intuitive nudges, so pay attention to those intuitive nudges of what's the next step to take. So when I was paying off my credit card, I wanted to pay off my credit card, intuitive nudge, okay, Jenna, if you just worked for like 3 months, a seasonal job at the end of the year, by the time it was over, you would have your credit card paid off. I saw a job posting and I felt at peace. That was my intuitive nudge to look, and I felt that, and I knew this is what I need to do, okay? So that's what they're saying here. And if it's something like, say, buying a house and you don't have a lot of money right now, like me, that's okay, okay? Because it might take a number of steps. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to take forever, honey, okay? That's a message to me, too. My guides always like to stress that they know a shortcut, okay? They know the best way there. So the biggest hurdle is going to be, one, deciding exactly what it is that you want. It's easy to ask for it. But the next hurdle is taking the action, the guided action towards it. Okay? When I was taking the guided action towards applying for the job, I was scared. I was really scared, and I almost talked myself out of it, but I wanted it so badly that I fought through it. And then when I was done, I'm like, that wasn't as bad as I was making it out to be. Yeah. This is the hardest thing, okay? Getting past those feelings, those thoughts, that the one that I felt at the beginning of this reading, okay? It's never going to happen. Why am I even bothering? It is going to happen if you keep moving towards it. Our angels and guides are here to help guide us and to help us through this, okay? So they are a resource for us, and it's often an untapped resource, right? So if you intuitively know what to do next, you don't need to ask them. No. But if you're not sure, ask, Scorpio. Okay. I feel so much more uplifted now, right? So my guides are saying, after you do all this, and sometimes those negative feelings are going to come up, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there like I did and think about that goal? Think about that future spouse. Think about that future career. Try to visualize it and feel those feelings. The feelings of love, the feelings of happiness, security, whatever this is. Think about that, okay? Some of you, maybe you're really interested in fashion. What kind of clothes would you wear to this job, right? Think about that. Think about the aspects that really get you going, getting you excited about this goal. Because you want this goal for a reason, right? So there has to be something about it that brings you that ear-to-ear grin. That's what we need to do, Scorpio. When we feel those feelings of doubt, we have to replace them with these positive feelings, okay? Okay, Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed this message. Please let me know if it resonated. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I see you in the next video. Bye.